So just I will revise 1 minute. Fork and V fork. So fork is thing, but you are fork and V fork both you are calling for a creating a new process. Okay, so whenever you are one process is running, suppose first process number one is running. Okay, so fork or V fork we called, so it will immediately will create one more new process. So total you will be having the two processes. Okay, so difference between fork and V fork is in fork you will get both new process and old process, that is parent and child if you are saying. So both will be sharing the different data segment. So whenever you are writing any variables, okay, so or you are modifying any variables values, okay, so that time so both will be having different data segments. And in v4 both will be having the same. Okay, normally we will prefer v4, so after fork immediately if you are calling for exec calls. Okay, so there are 6 to 7 exec variations are there, so that we will study it later. Okay, so and return value of fork is totally three kinds of values it will return. So that is 0 on successful execution. Okay, and that 0 value will be returned to the child process. Okay, for child process 0 value will be returned, that is successfully it's created the new process. Okay, and for a parent process greater than 0, so that is PID of child, it will return it. Okay, so if it is not able to create a child process, okay, so there is a failure, so that time it will return a -1. Okay, so three kinds of values it will return it, fork and v fork both are same. Okay, so now I'll go for new topic, that is wait and wait PID. Okay, so two things are there. So whenever child process it terminates, so that time normally kernel what it will do, it will send a signal to the parent process, and that signal is we'll say as a sig child. So there is nothing but it's a child is terminated. Okay, so and this termination is asynchronous. Okay, so what is asynchronous? Whenever child some internet it may call some exit function, okay, or return or anything, or maybe some because of some other interrupts it may get executed. Okay, sorry, it may get terminated. Okay, so any time in between suddenly it may get terminated, or intentionally the child itself will come out of the execution. Okay, so depending on that, so this is we don't have any particular timing. So for that we'll say as a asynchronous, we don't know when it will get terminated. In between, when your parent process is running, suddenly it may get terminated. So there is a asynchronous, without knowing anything to the parent acceptation, so directly it will get terminated. So it's a asynchronous event. So whenever asynchronous event will happen, that time normally kernel will send a signal to the parent, and the signal is nothing but sick child. Okay, there is nothing but child is terminated. So it's then whenever you will parent will get the signal. Okay, so this kind of the signal will get it from the kernel. Okay, so whenever parent will get the signal, so that time it may perform some task, or that signal may be ignored, it left on the parent. So how you want to take it? So maybe after the child termination, they want that parent want to continue with some other task. Okay, or it may want to terminate itself. Okay, so depending on situation, so whatever codings you are written it, so depending on that parent will take care. Okay, so it may ignore the signal, or you can receive the signal and perform some task. Okay, so it depends on the whoever writing the code, depends on him, so what kind of things he want to do it after receiving this signal. Okay, so this one parent intentionally he can see it if child is terminated or not by using these two calls. Okay, that is something but wait and wait PID, depending on these things. Parent, what it will do is it will check child's status, is it is running or terminated, those things. Okay, it will check it, so what kind of status it's there it. So depending on that it may perform some task. So for that, and this is a wait and wait PID are there. So here whenever in parent code, if I are calling as a wait this function, okay, so whenever you are calling this wait function, what will happen is parent, it will block itself. Okay, so normally parent will block itself and it will wait for a child to terminate it. Okay, and when child will get terminated, so that time it will return a status inside this variable. Okay, so it's nothing but whenever you are in a parent, whenever you are calling this wait function, so that time you have to return an address of one variable where you want to get the status. Okay, so here this is status location. Okay, so stat location is in the status location where you want to get the actually your status. Okay, so parent has to give the one variable address to it. Okay, so this function, to this function it has to give one variable address. Okay, in that variable status of child termination will be given. So it may be because of some error it may get terminated, or successfully it may got executed, or it may give some message to the parent. Okay, depending on that, so this status will be there. That is an integer value, positive integer value. Normally it will be there, 0 onwards it will start. So depending on that, you can perform some task again. In parent you can perform some task. Okay, so and in wait PID here, if you saw, here we're passing the PID value, and parent may have more than one processes. So now suppose you want to check it for a one particular child process, and you want to get the status of that. Okay, so suppose parent, one parent first process has 5 childs. Okay, so that time first process, he may that process may wait for any particular child to execute it. Okay, and it's waiting for a particular status only. So like that, if you have anything particular, you know the PID of the child, so you can call this one. So whenever you want a particular child's status only, so we'll call for this one. Wait is in general any child, if it is terminated, it will return it. Okay, so here in wait PID you are waiting for a particular PID. So in this PID, whatever process is there, so if that process is terminated, it will return it. Okay, so normally, and you can modify the some options also. Okay, so what is that options is nothing but, so processes you will be having the different states. Okay, so in already OS you studied it, it may go in waiting state. Okay, ready state. Okay, like that, different states you have. So if any changes are happened in that state also, it will return it, depending on whatever options you are passing here. Okay, so if you are passing as a 0 means whenever it will get terminated only it will return. Okay, and if you are passing as a some different options, okay, suppose if it is waiting for IO, so return. Okay, so like that, you can give it. So here, suppose if it is a child process is waiting for a IO interruption, so what will happen is, so this function wait PID function will repeat return immediately, and will say as a child is waiting for a IO processes. Okay, like that. So whichever process you want, so that process PID you can send it, and particular status you can get it, and you can give the option when you want to get the return also. Okay, so depending on that situation, you can get the you can pass the options. You may give more than one options, like what I said as a IO processor, you may give as a by adding OR options. Okay, so there are some macros there you can pass it. So predefined macros are there. Okay, so those are macros you can pass it. So using OR, so if any one of those are true, so it will return it. Okay, so here this wait period is nothing but you are waiting for a particular child to a complete. Okay, if you option is 0, so it should be terminated. If option is different value, you are passing it, depending on that it will return. It may be a different state, depending on different state it will return it. Okay, so uh, here, no, next thing, so this is nothing but okay, this is the parameter. Whatever we are passing, this is the parameter. Okay, so here whatever this parameter is there in parent process, this parameter address should from parent process, this parameter address should be passed to the this function wait function. Okay, so normally this kind of things we'll do it. Now we'll see one program on this one. Okay, so here is the one program. Is it visible clearly?
No, sir.
One second. Now,
Yes, sir.
so here, okay, so if you saw, first one is we're giving it one PID variable and status. So in this variable I want to get the my status back. Okay, so here sometimes we are calling as a wait, and sometimes we are killing the process abnormally. Okay, so what is that, we'll see it. So first time what we are doing is PID is equal to fork. Okay, so here we are assigning the fork values to the PID, and we are checking for a less than 0. If it is less than 0 means successfully it's not executed, so fork error it will print it. Okay, if it is successfully executed, so it means there will be two processes. First one will be the parent, second one will be the child. So for a parent process, what it will do is it will return PID, okay, of child one, or and for a child process it will return a 0. Okay, so when this statement will executed, considered successfully executed, so that time you have a two processes. Okay, so immediately after this statement, whatever is there, this onwards in there two processes will run. So here PID is equal to 0, we are checking it. So this is nothing but this is for a child. Okay, so PID 0 will be there for a child. So that time we are saying as a exit 0 immediately. Okay, so that is the exit value, return value we are saying as a 0, status 0, sorry, 7. Okay, exit 7, we are sending the exit status value as a 7. Okay, suppose if it is not a child process here, so suppose it's a parent process, so this will become false, so it will come here, and it will, what will do is it's a waiting, so wait. Here address whatever this status is there, that address we are passing it is not equal to PID. So here not equal to PID is nothing but whenever wait is wait return type, so it is equal to 0 means it's nothing but successfully executed. Okay, so if it is returning particular value means it's some error is there. Okay, so here we are checking it. Okay, so now address we are passing it is any child if it is running. So for that status we are waiting here. Wait is parent process, wait for any child. Okay, so you have one child only, so it's waiting for a one child. And now whenever it will get terminated here, that is child process will run this PID equal to 0 when it will become, and exit 7 it will give. So that is 7 value it is returning it. So in this status variable it will return as a 7. Okay, in this status variable it will return as 7. So immediately after this, if it is not equal to 0, sorry, not equal to PID, so we are printing here some status. Okay, if it is equal to PID means error will be there, otherwise we'll get the some status will print it. So what we are printing is here PR underscore exit. It's nothing but whatever status we are getting, that depending on that, in this function PR underscore exit, we have one if condition. Depending on whatever status is there, that will print it. So it is variable status value 0, 1, 2, 3, those all are listed, and corresponding meanings are there. Okay, so that will be printed here in this function. Okay, PR underscore exit. So whenever it will pass here status as a 7, so what it will happen is it will print corresponding status whatever we got it as a 7. It will return as a 7. Okay, so again what we are doing is one more fork we are doing it. So that time here again same thing. If here again two process will be there. Here it's already terminated, child is already terminated by executing exit. Okay, so this one will be executed by one process only. Okay, that is a parent process. So again parent process is executing the fork. So again here we will be having the two processes, and we are checking for PID equal to 0 means whenever it's related to only child again. So whenever child will be there, that time what we're doing is about we are doing it. So about means it's again internally it will return some status. Okay, so whenever it will get terminated abnormally, so that time also it will return some status. So that status also parent will be received. So that is where we are receiving it here. Parent what is doing is again waiting. Okay, so waiting ampersand 0 ampersand status. So whatever value is written here about, so that value will be received here. Okay, so again we are printing here. Okay, so that is PR underscore status. So depending on whatever this written value is there, that value will print it, and corresponding message, what all those things will check it. Okay, so here we are receiving it and we are printing it. So here second process created, sorry, second process 4 created, here again it's terminated. Okay, by about it's terminated. So now again in this if condition again we are creating it. So 4 we are creating it again. Okay, so again you will be having the two processes. So for a child, when a PID is equal to 0, what we are doing is status divided by status 0. Okay, status equal to status divided by 0 we are doing is, that is nothing but divide by 0 we are doing it. So whenever divide by 0 will happen, so internally it's a, what is this one, something will say, some kind of errors. Remember exceptions, some exceptions will say it. Hmm? Like floating point error exceptions will be there. Divided by 0, this is also an exception. Okay, so that is nothing but you can't divide it, you will not get the value. Okay, so there is a we don't know the values, so that time it will raise a one signal actually. Okay, that signal is floating point exception signal, it will raise it. SIG floating FPE, floating point exception signal, it will raise it. Okay, this signal will be sent to the again parent. So this time here, if you observe first one, child itself called the exit and it's about terminated. Here about it's in child itself is calling about, immediately it's terminating without giving any proper status also. Okay, so kernel will take care for that. Okay, and here whenever it is trying to execute some statement, kernel will come and will kill this process. Okay, so difference is here successfully child itself is terminated and is returning a status. Okay, properly. Here if child itself is terminated abnormally. Okay, here child still want to run something, but this you can't run it. So what kernel will do is kernel will kill this process. Okay, so it will kill this process. So this is also abnormal execution only. Okay, so for this also one status will be there, so that status will be returned to the again parent. So here is parent is in wait, it's waiting. Okay, so in wait function, it's checking for the status. So whatever status you will receive it, that will be printed here. Then exit 0, this is nothing but parent process is exiting from here. Okay, now we'll see the output. Okay, so first one, if you saw here, exit 7, 7 it was returning it. So 7 that time normal termination, child is executing normally, so exit status it's returning it. So in this function we are printing whatever we are printing, pr underscore 0. So here if in this function if conditions are there. Okay, so depending on whatever value you are getting it, depending on that corresponding message will give. So here it's giving as a normal termination, exit equal to 0. Okay, so second one about was there. Okay, so here child itself is terminated abnormally. Okay, so that is nothing but abnormal termination signal number 6. Okay, so whenever you are calling about functions, so internally status will be written as a 6 value. Okay, those are predefined values. Okay, so 6 value it will return it, and that value are printing it here. So core file is generated. Okay, so internally it's one message, there's nothing but you are saying as a you are dumping some values, some information. It's not given by the actually child only, it's taken by the it's a kernel. This core file generated whatever is there, this information everything is given by the kernel only. Okay, then third one here, status equal to status divided by 0. So what we are doing is here your kernel is killing this one actually. So this is also abnormal termination. Okay, signal number 8, so this is a different one. So this depending on status you will be having a predefined values. These are predefined values, so you have something information. So like that we sent as a by default for about it was 6. For floating point error here you had as 8, 7 where intentionally we are sending it. Okay, so these are the values we have it, predefined values. Any doubts in this one? This macros, okay. Any doubts with respect to wait and wait PID? We'll take one example for wait PID also. Okay, so now we take just for a wait. There's nothing but it's waiting for parent is waiting for a its child to execute it. Now we'll go for a wait PID also. Any doubts? No. Okay. So this is the wait PID. Okay. So now, okay. So here, go through the example again. Same, almost same is there, but you are creating a twice fork again here also. Okay. So here, first thing is what we are doing is the fork we are doing it. So it's nothing but child will be created. I think someone is typing something. Comment section normally I will not read while explaining. If possible, unmute yourself and then say it. Okay. Okay. So here, uh, fork, what we are doing is again two processes will be killed. So two processes will be created. Okay, so that time here we are checking the PID is equal to 0. There's nothing but child. Okay, so there's we are saying is first child. Okay, so whenever first child is there, what we are doing is, so inside that again this open bucket and close bucket here. Okay, so from here to here it's there. So inside that what all things we are doing it for a child, first child whatever created. So PID equal to again fork we are doing it. There's something what we are saying as a one more process we are creating it. That is first process to second process we created, second process is creating the third process here. Okay, that is nothing but one parent was there, you have created a child, from that child process you are creating one more child now. Okay, and so this is the thing we are doing here. So it's created. Okay, so and immediately we are checking if else if PID is greater than 0. So here else if PID is greater than 0 is nothing but, so consider the I have total here whatever executing process, that is process number one I will say it. Okay, so whenever you are executing this fork, so there will be two processes. So process first and child whatever will create, there is a second I will say it. Okay, process number two. Okay, then whenever you are creating here fork, so that time second process will create the third, so that is a third process. So total three processes will be there. So here PID is greater than 0 we are checking it. So inside this closing else if bracket we are checking PID is greater than 0. It means this is a second process only. So why second process is here, it's already PID is equal to 0 we checked, there is a inside a second process. Okay, then PID again we call the fork. So that time whatever this second process was there, that is a parent. Okay, so that parent has some PID value. So this PID is greater than 0 or not, we are checking it. So if it is equal greater than 0, immediately we are terminating it. So okay, that is exit we are doing it. So what will happen, first process will be there, third process will be there. Okay, first and third will be there. Okay, so always when in a system whenever you have a processes, there should be always one parent process. Okay, so if you observe, we have first process, then second process we had after creating this one, and here because of this exit second process got killed. Okay, so that is nothing but first process and third process are there, only first and third are there. Are we getting okay, so first time one process was there, we called fork. Okay, first fork we called. So here by this one we had first process and second process. Okay, so inside this one what we are doing is, so here again we are checking we are creating one more fork. So second process will be there. Okay, then third process will be there. Okay, so because we called once again fork. Okay, so we have total one two. Okay, it's two. Okay, then three, total three processes are there. Okay, so now here what we are doing is it PID is greater than, here PID value will be greater than 0. Okay, so why, because it's created because of fork, it's returning the child process PID. So this will be PID value will be the greater than 0. So that time we are calling exit. Okay, so when you will call the exit, so that time this will get terminated. So okay, so you will be having first process and third process by that time. Okay, so each process should have the parent. So second process parent was 1, third process parent was 2. Okay, so 2 is got terminated means first third process don't have the parent. So that for that what we have to do, system is automatically give the parent process. Okay, so whenever you'll be having the daemon process, we'll call it as normally daemon process, that time it will give the parent process. So that process will be the init process. Init process is nothing but first process whatever we created. Okay, so whenever system will boot, that time you will be having the init process. So that process will be given as a parent process for a whichever child don't have the parents. Okay, so for that it will give the parent process. So here whenever it will get terminated, that time for that second process, for it sorry, for a third process it will give the parent process as a init process. Okay, So here we'll see what all things we are doing is here sleep 2. So it's nothing but if here PID is not greater than 0, so what will happen? So is equal to 0 means it will not execute it, it will come here. So whenever PID value will be equal to 0, so that is nothing but child process, that is a third process. So here sleep, it's sleeping for 2 seconds, that is second child is sleeping for 2 seconds, that is our process 3 is sleeping for 2 seconds. Then after that it will exit. So you are printing this one, okay, that is child process PID. So you are printing it. So get PPID. So get PPID is nothing but is parents PID you are trying to print it. So we'll see what value we'll get it here, okay. So if this part is over, that is nothing but first fork, okay. So first fork is executed, this part is over means, and its no value is not equal to 0, it means it's in the first process only, okay. So that time wait PID is waiting for a particular PID, so whatever value child was there, so for that it's waiting it. Okay, so what we are doing is here, so whatever second process is there, we are waiting for a second process, first process is waiting for second process here, okay, and we are sending as a null, okay. So here null is nothing but you don't want to receive any status, okay. Here this was a pointer address of some variable you want to send it, so you don't want to receive any status, so we are sending as a null here, okay. And zero is nothing but we are saying as a whenever it will get terminated, that time only return it, okay. So we are checking for that one. So whenever it will become true, so it will come out, or if you want to do some operation, you will perform here some operations, then it will execute, okay. So that is exit 0 will do it. So we'll see the output, okay. So here directly you are getting as a parent ID as a 1, okay. So that is, so only one printf is there, so that is printf statement child, second child, this is parent process we are printing it. So whenever it was sleeping, so that time parent was get executed, the second process was get executed, and it's terminated. So for this third process, okay, so you will get the actually, that is a parent ID, okay. So you will get the parent ID, it will be assigned by kernel, okay. So that time it will kernel will assign the parent ID as a 1, okay. So that ID we are getting it, and we are printing here, okay. And here wait PID is nothing but first process, as if you saw, you were not given any sleep anything, okay. So process is created, first process created the second process here, and directly it's waiting for a second process to terminate it. So whenever second process got terminated, that is here particular PID we are passing it. Whenever second process is got terminated, you can do some task here, okay. This is a comment line, you can do some task here, or you can exit. So normally here we given as a exit, so that is uh, just we came out of the this overall execution, okay. So here just we are printing, so whatever is, so here we're not creating the daemon process, normally you will be having the all process will have the parent, that is if you don't have any parent, particular parent is got terminated in between, so it will in it will be assigned, okay. Any doubts? Any doubts? Okay, so next one is here wait 3 and wait 4. So like whatever wait and wait PID are there, like that you have wait 3 and wait 4 new versions of wait function, okay. So here one more extra thing you can pass it, that is the resources, what all resources used by the child processor, that you can see it. For that one parameter, extra parameter you can pass that, if here, so in wait what was there, only status location you are passing it, okay. And option is nothing but whenever some here it may be waiting for ios, okay, or it's there in particular different state. So depending on that you are waiting, you are taking the options, okay. So there's nothing but it's hanging. So like that, if any states are there, those options you are taking it. So it was there in wait PID, same thing you are passing. And third one is here new thing. So in wait 3 and wait 4 is nothing but you are passing on structure, okay. So that structure is nothing but resource usage. So what all resources are used by the child, while executing. Okay, so those all information will be stored inside this structure. Whenever child will get terminated, that time, so those all resource information will be given to the parent process. So what kind of resource it will we have is here is what is the cpu time it's using, what is the io time it's using. Okay, so how many files it's opened. Okay, so like that, if any information, anything your child is using, so those all things are written here. Okay, so this is a structure. Okay, so it's nothing but again you will be having one structure variable. That variable address you are passing it here. Okay, so structure variable address you are passing it. So whenever child will get terminated, kernel will fill all those things. Okay, or if child is successfully executing properly, so by default child itself can return it. Okay, so these all things it will fill it and it will return to the parent. So wait 3. Okay, so same thing is wait 4. It is nothing but wait pid kind of thing. Okay, so there here we have as a particular process id, we will pass it. Remaining thing is same. Okay, we will pass the particular parent child id. So whatever child you are waiting it for, that child pid will pass it, and you will get the particular child's status. Okay, so whatever status is there, is it executed successfully or abnormally, those status you will get it here. Okay, so and options you can pass. Then, so what is the resources is used. Okay, so while running the child, what all resources it was using it, those things you can come to know. Okay, parent will come to know those things. So here why will use this one. Okay, so maybe child is executing something, so why you are using this one. So sometimes what will happen, child is executed abnormally, so heap memory you have. So those heap memory kind of things, whatever you created the memory dynamically, so those are not deallocated. So sometimes you have to deallocate it, and some files you opened it, so those files are not closed properly, so you have to close it properly. Okay, so file table will be there. Okay, so if you remember, whenever you are creating a file, one file table will be there. In that file, each file table fds will be kept. Okay, so all fds will be there and will be pointing it. So that file table you have to remove it from the ram, otherwise your ram size will increase it. Okay, so those all, because of those purpose, these things will be taken care. Okay, so normally whenever your ram size will be less and you are completely monitoring all those things. Okay, so and like embedded systems. Okay, so whenever you want to closely see those all things and you want to close it properly, so that time wait 3 and wait 4 will be used. Okay, so generally wait and wait pid are giving the all features. Okay, so wait 3 and wait 4 is nothing but memory kind of things. Whatever you want to close it properly, either child is executed properly or not, and if it is not closed all those things properly, so parent has to do that task. Okay, for that purpose these two will be used. Okay, wait 3 and wait 4. Any doubts? Any doubts, yes or no? No. Okay, like continue to next topic. We'll stop today. This time 9:30. Okay, okay, we'll stop it.
Yes, sir.